We kindly request you to gather in our conference hall for the inaugural ceremony of National Conference on Green Energy Technologies for Sustainability, conducted by Department of Green Energy Technologies, Madanjit School of Green Energy Technologies, Pondicherry University, sponsored by South Asia Foundation.
The extensive use of energy and ever demanding energy need generally still happening from fossil fuels. Because of that, several global issues been triggered. You call it as a climate change, you call it as a global warming, or you call it as a pollution, or you call it as an energy crisis. So to address this all, several, of course it comes one after other. If you want to address all these things, we have to look towards an alternative energy sources. That is green energy solutions, cleaner and greener way. We need to produce energy, conserve energy and use energy. So that makes us, this department, a prominent department in the nation. So we are proud to say our department is green energy technology. At the set, you know that we need to transform from this carbon-based fuel. So most of your fuels, conventional fuels from carbon energy. So transformation has to happen from carbon to non-carbon energy, or at least carbon neutral energy. So this makes a quantum leap we need to make. I mean, quantum leap means a rapid and massive deployment of renewable energy technologies in terms of energy production. Whether it is solar energy or solar photovoltaics or solar thermal or bioenergy or wind energy, wave energy, ocean energy, geothermal energy, still India is not explored much of the ocean energy, geothermal energy. We have a long coastal line. So there are several alternative, matured renewable energy technologies which we need to adopt in a very radical and rapid manner. So that makes this conference an unique. In the set, apart from that, the conversion technologies, you call it as a fuel cell, you call it as an electrolyzer. Now we talk about much about non-carbon hydrogen energy, so hydrogen fuel. We talk several hydrogen energies, green energy, green hydrogen. So for that, you need energy should produce from renewable energy, then you have to use the electrolyzers. We have mature technologies to produce green hydrogen. So conversion energy technologies are coming up. Carbon capture, utilization, conversion of carbon to fuels, ethanol, methanol, it's all coming up. With that said, I believe this two-day conference on green energy technologies for sustainability will not make you feel bad. You will be taking a lot of message. We have lined up several eminent invited speakers who will be speaking in different areas. I think we have a mixed number of academic as well as industry people to give you what you are expecting. Thank you very much. Once again, I welcome you all with my folded hand.
Compared to fossil fuels, this renewable energy reduces air pollution, mitigation the adverse impact of global warming, and also protect the ecosystems. Further, this renewable energy do not produce any hazardous waste like coal ash, nuclear waste, etc. This renewable energy reduces the dependency on non-renewable energy resources. The transition to green and clean energy technologies create lot of new job opportunities. Hence, with the vision, support and encouragement of our Vice Chancellor, Professor K. Tarnikarasu, in the coming academic year, that is 2024-25, we, the Madanjit School of Green Energy Technologies, is starting 2 new additional programs. One is B.Tech Energy Engineering, and another one is B.Tech Nanoscience and Technology under the National Education Policy. Further, in this moment, I acknowledge the organizers, speakers, and participants for their commitments and contribution towards the development of sustainability energy for sustainable future. Once again, I thank you all for your presence and contributions. With this, wishing you all a successful and enriching conference ahead. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Sponsored by Foundation Foundation.
So today we have assembled here to discuss and understand about the green energy technologies for sustainability. The sustainability is the buzzword. Even United Nations has also started discussing on this. So if you take the sustainability, before we start the industrial revolution, whatever we exhale the carbon dioxide, the plant takes the carbon dioxide, makes the chlorophyll to us. So this is the sustainable thing which were going on. But due to the industrial revolution, we started using our fossil fuel, and of course it has helped us to understand the technologies which can be utilized for the human growth. But at the same time, the ecology and environment also is disturbed. We have to understand this. So because of this, there are so many ecological factors which are disturbed, environmental factors which are disturbed. On the other day, I was in the Food Science and Technology Department, where they mentioned this: the biofuel is the cause for even the food security. So now we have entered into the field when all these 17 sustainable goals. So wherever we are trying to improve our technologies, the others part we have to also worry. Even we are doing the research on the hydrogen splitting of water, that is water splitting to get the hydrogen. But at the same time, if you see the water crisis recently in Bangalore and other parts of country, even water is also becoming precious. So where I saw the video also where they have utilized the air conditioners to collect water and then to utilize for the day-to-day use. So the sustainability is really very important at this stage. So we have to concentrate more on these technologies. Definitely this green energy technology is also very important. So when we take green energy technology also, there are many challenges. Whether we can sustain without fossil fuel, that is the big question mark. Whether we have a technology, that is another thing. Whether we can have this, whether we can sustain this with the this green energy or even the renewable energy resources. For example, if you take the Southeast Asian countries, their land is very less, but their energy demand is very high. Even if they want to sustain with solar energy, the land scarcity is there. We cannot utilize this solar energy for their sustainable energy use. So there are many challenges in even the green energy technologies. But at this stage, we have to concentrate first on the alternative source of energy. Later on, we can think on what is the best source of sustainable energy for that particular part of the country. So at this time, we don't have any the solid technology for using alternative to the fossil fuel. So in this angle only, Professor Tharyan has started this department with a great vision, and for more than 15 years, 13 years or 14 years. So this department is doing excellently well. They have established very well in doing research on green energy technologies, and continuously they are performing, and they are also publishing papers as well as getting projects. Of course, we have a major, that's what I was discussing with Madam, we have to do in national level also, in policies, what is the energy demand for nation, so what are the energy resources, what is our next 30 years, 40 years, 50 years for our nation. So we should have this department should have a meeting with different experts in the energy experts throughout India, and we have to make a policy for India also, and in this angle we have to move, apart from doing research on this. And with this, the South Asian Federation, from starting onwards, they are very generous enough to fund our students, fund the department, fund our research. This funding by the South Asian Federation, so it is very useful for I could see the kind of research, and they are not dependent on any other source of the university funding also. The students from South Asian countries also, they visit here. They not only learn the technologies, they also propagate. They are all ambassadors for us. They are telling the world that there is this technology very useful. I came to know that some of our students are doing excellently well in their countries after going back, and they are doing very good business and become entrepreneurs and doing very good business in their countries also. So this is really excellently doing, this department is really excellently doing well. And at this moment, so to have a discussion on the yearly discussion on the green energy technologies for sustainability is very useful, and I thank Madam for supporting this event, and I also thank all the resource persons, experts who have taken your time to come to Pondicherry University and share your ideas, share your technology points, and share your views on the green energy technologies. So I thank once again for the department for organizing this wonderful or very important conference. Thank you one and all.
In 1996, as a personal advisor to UNESCO Director General Federico Mayor Zaragoza, he was sent to Harare, Zimbabwe, for the inauguration of the UNESCO 1996-2005 World Solar Program. This experience had such a great impact on him that he wrote the book, The Renewable Energy of the Sun, and subsequently, The Sun in Myth and Art, edited and published by UNESCO. In 2000, when he decided to found the South Asia Foundation, establishing institutions in diverse subjects in countries of the SAARC region to promote regional cooperation, 𝐓𝐢𝐻𝐺𝐻 was set up at the request of the Vice Chancellor Jelly Sarin, and the first MOU was signed on 27 March 2010. On 16 April 2014, a couple of months after the passing away of our founder, I participated in the inauguration of the building. At that time, Vice Chancellor Professor Krishnamurthy invited me to plant a tree as a symbolic gesture. This tree has grown beautifully as the school has expanded. It is one of the most promising elite institutions striving towards sustainable future through scientific research, and it is where this conference is being conducted. The conference will bring together researchers, academics, industry, professionals, and students to share their knowledge and ideas on the latest development in green energy technologies. This conference is offering a helping hand to understand and create a space for discussing alternatives and posing new ideas. I want to extend my gratitude to Pondicherry University and the entire team at the Green Technology for making this possible. I take this opportunity to wish the head of the department and governor of the conference, Professor Arun Prasad, and his colleagues who are involved to make it a success. The university motto, adorned with the sun, is written in 3 languages, French, Sanskrit, and Tamil. It is a living proof of your cultural richness. I wish you all a productive and enjoyable conference. So, Nadri, Dhanyavad. Thank you.
The humanity is faced with 5 challenges, namely the climate change and environment, water, which I think you know about, water, health, and at last energy. Much has been said already about the energy, but I think among all these, energy is demanding and also very pervasive. Well, there are various ways and means of producing energy and harvesting it, but I think that will be talked about in this conference. But of course, the various sources of energy that will probably will be theme of this particular gathering and the conference will be I hope will be very rewarding to our younger colleagues who have come across all over from the various parts of the country, and they will have an opportunity to take it further. I don't want to say much, but we are already seeing the change that the renewable energy in this country is bringing about, and there is a lot of stress from the government also to make renewable energy a success. Well, with these words, I think I will stop here, and I will say something in my talk that probably you will like. So with that, I wish the conference with a very great success, and also I thank all the organizers and the Vice Chancellor and other his administrative staff for inviting me over here. So thank you all, and all the best.
I thank our HOD and faculty members and deans of other school, HODs of other department, faculty members from other department, and student participants and delegates from various parts of the institutions. And in particular, I also would like to extend the heartfelt thanks to sponsors, and our HOD rightly mentioned several list of sponsors, and we are grateful to you for your presence, and the media persons and the non-teaching staff of department and our school. Thank you one and all for your presence. I wish that these 2 days, the time that we spend, will be very beneficial to carry the message of sustainability at the end of second day. Thank you one and all.
Pleased to welcome you on the first edition. Apart from anything else, it's always a pleasure to have a friend to talk to. You've been an artist, a scholar, a writer, a photographer, and above all, a diplomat for close to half a century. You've been associated with UNESCO now for more than 45 years. In fact, your first book on agenda was published by UNESCO. And more recently, you've published this absolutely stunning book on the sun. And you're now working on a follow-up of that, where you discuss the sun and renewable energy. Let me, as far as UNESCO is concerned, also tell you, is this, you're a science student, I know. Is this a way of coming back to your roots, where art and science are brought together in a synthesis?
Right, I think you're quite right, because you see, science and culture and traditional way of our living from the very beginning has never been a separate thing. In the olden days, it was always together. There was no divisiveness, there was no separation. Actually, this separation actually starts during the Industrial Revolution. After the Industrial Revolution, that the science and culture began to get apart. And but but unless you bring the science and culture together, there cannot be no harmony. You see, for example, now all the question of environment and the question of all the ozone layer in the atmosphere and all these problems that we are beginning to have is because here the science and the ecology and the people's living has to be connected together once again. So I felt that I got involved in this solar energy for that reason. As you see, we have now brought out this book in 11 editions all over the world, including the Chinese. Journalists asked me, what is it that drives you to do these things at your age? Well, I said, for a moment I was taken aback, but then on reflection I thought, in retrospect, that everything that from my childhood I did was connected with some kind of an ideal or a cause. When I was a teenager, I was imprisoned during Mahatma Gandhi's non-violent movement. It was a cause. During the pre-partition days, I worked for communal harmony between India and Pakistan in future, and that was a cause. And then I worked in refugee camps after the unfortunate partition of the subcontinent. It was again a cause. When I joined the Foreign Service, it was a cause too, because I wanted the unity of India built on those ideals of Mahatma Gandhi and Nehru. The reason that I have devoted myself to UNESCO since practically half a century, since my first book was published called India Painting from Ajanta Caves way back in 1954, with an introduction by Jawaharlal Nehru, was again a cause. And since then, I have not let it go. Again, the solar energy has become a cause for me. I'm not just doing the book for the book's sake, but to really, I believe that the future of humanity, and especially for the poorer people in the world, depends very much on solar energy. And I think that that is what's keeping me alive today. Thank you very much.
Let me tell you that you are a very important son of India.
The heads of states and governments, and at that time the idea emerged that we should also do a book on the renewable solar energy, and the Director General of UNESCO then asked me to compile this book. Visiting almost 25 countries, it has to be emphasized that solar energy is a part of the culture of the people. By combining science and culture, and by using what you might call the cultural tools of heliotechnology, solar energy is bound to become the principal energy of the future. I decided to set up a foundation on her name. Her name was Sumitra. The UNESCO has launched a 10-year program on solar energy. So France and myself, we went to Bastar to set up 40 health and education centers there for the tribal communities. But I went a step further and created another foundation, that is the South Asia Foundation. So then I thought that maybe the only way to go through is to create a youth movement. It is for you people who are to see that a cooperation is created in all South Asia and through education. So this is the whole story of my life. Madam Director General Irina Bokova, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. This is an unprecedented occasion for rejoicing, as the UNESCO Madanjit Singh Prize for the promotion of tolerance and non-violence is awarded for the first time by a very distinguished woman Director General of UNESCO. It is a special occasion also because since the UNESCO Executive Board established the prize
in 1995, the laureates for the prize have mostly been women. Thank you very much.